Welcome, Scorpios, to your February 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is the first time you've tuned into my channel, I offer free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments below. Please know that at the beginning of the month, I get a lot of people that take me up on this offer. So if I don't get back to you right away, don't worry, because I absolutely will get back to everyone who subscribes and asks a question. Now, this month, I have to start out by saying Happy Valentine's Day. If you follow Valentine's where you are in the world, I do see you have some wonderful cards for love here. So if you are interested in knowing about that, keep listening. But also, I feel this month you are really faced with some choices that you have to make. And that's coming through in a few of the cards here. Now, you start out with the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands asks you to stand your ground and defend what you believe in. And so if you've been in any situation where you perhaps have thought a particular way about something or how to go about something, particularly if this is in your work or your career or something that you're really passionate about, and you believe in what it is that you've been doing, stand your ground, because I feel like you are probably right. But what this card also does say is maybe think about the choices that you are making, because sometimes you have to wonder if the battle is worth the fight. So if it's not something that you want to chase, it could be worth just redirecting your focus to something you consider a little bit more important. If it's going to create dramas or issues for yourself and it's not really worth the drama and the fight, then you can let it go. But if it's something that you really believe in, just stand your ground and fight for it. And this could have something to do with money for some of you. But whatever it is, whatever it is, as I said, it's really something that you are probably right. And if it means that much to you, stand your ground. Otherwise, just let it go. It's not worth the drama and the effort. I mean, you'll certainly grow stronger from any challenge that you are faced with. And what this card also says is, if you make choices from your mind, your intellect, rather than your heart, I think things are going to work out okay and in your favor. Now, I did mention choices. You have the Seven of Cups. And interestingly here, you have two sevens, the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Now, I don't know if you're into numerology, and you can look into it a little bit more if you are, but sevens often bring a lot of soul searching with them. And, you know, it can be time for you to sort of self-assess your progress when when the sevens come up. And you know, you might find yourself lacking, and it can be easy to be sort of unkind to yourself. And you really need to generate some self-forgiveness here, Scorpios. Don't beat yourself up. They really, sevens indicate also patience and looking within, as I said. Sort of, they indicate reviewing a situation. So, you know, the Seven of Wands, they're reviewing this perhaps battle that you're in, this struggle, could be to do with work. But it's really asking you to look within. Yeah, and when you get multiple sevens, it really indicates, a pause in action while you make some choices regarding what to do next. And so these two cards do definitely suggest that, particularly the Seven of Cups that I just mentioned. That is that card of, it's such a great card because you are spoiled for choice here. You've got so many things that are in front of you that you can choose which direction to go in, what choices to make. But what this card actually says is there's so many choices in front of you that often it's hard to choose, and you are kind of stuck a little bit because it's like a kid in a candy shop. You've got maybe, 10 cents, and you're looking at all of the wonderful, wonderful things that you want to buy, and you want to have that and you want to have that, but you can't actually have them all. So it's hard to make that decision sometimes, but you really need to take action. You need to make a decision, unfortunately. And sometimes, the answer to finding which decision or what the right action is to take just requires you to do a little bit more research. Just look further into things that'll help you make that decision. And sometimes it could be you're just procrastinating. You're just kind of going backwards and forwards and you're not wanting to make that decision. But the Seven of Cups is absolutely telling you that whatever is necessary, you need to do something to move forward. You can't sort of be there pondering. Now, sometimes, and this is a message just for some people, this is a general reading, so take whatever resonates for you, but this card can also indicate a person with an addiction or a dependency on something, on a dependency on unhealthy behaviors. And when you get this card, it could mean that there is some issue for concern there. And a dependency can be anything. An addiction, addictive behavior, that can be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to mean drugs or alcohol. It can be smoking, it can be eating, it can be even exercise, it can be any kind of compulsive behavior that just becomes too much. Now, also, you guys have got the Nine of Wands. So I see in February there is a few little sleepless nights here and some worry or concern about something. And this could be the choices that you are required to make. But what the Nine of Swords says is your worries are unfounded. You don't have anything to worry about because things are going to be turning out wonderfully for you. You've got that beautiful Ace of Cups. So if you've got a question in mind, the Ace of Cups is always yes. That is a positive answer to your question. You are going to bring about the things that you worry about if you continue to worry about them. The Nine of Swords there is that card of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you are worrying and you think the worst, then that's exactly what you're going to bring to you. So just by refocusing your thoughts and changing the way you look at things and the way you think a certain situation is going to turn out, if you think positively, then that's exactly what's going to come towards you. It's exactly what you're going to bring to you. So it's very difficult sometimes when you're worrying about stuff to, to change that focus, to get yourself out of that head, the negative stuff out of your head. And this can a little bit be connected with that Seven of Cups there, that where I was saying a dependency. You can actually become stuck with negative thinking as well. It's very comfortable to think negatively and think about things a certain way. So make sure you kind of allow that energy to shift and keep your thoughts very positive, because I feel February is very positive for you. Now, as I mentioned, you have that Ace of Cups there. What a beautiful, wonderful card that is. That's a card that just talks about a, a brand new, wonderful, emotional experience. And this can indicate honest connections with other people, heartwarming emotions, and it usually talks about beautiful new romance as well. So some of you might be falling in love or starting a new romance with someone in February. But it can talk about really close friendships as well and people that are there to support you and love you. Now, this can also talk about deeply spiritual and psychic experiences that are coming in for you. And whenever an ace shows up in a reading, it's always something new coming in. So there is an absolutely new, wonderful experience, emotional experience that is coming in for you. And this can also talk about a new home or a new environment that is also going to be around you as well. But it's a very positive card. Now you've got the Six of Pentacles there. So financially, things are looking up and looking very strong for you as well. You've really got abundance around you and a lot of generosity as well. Now, this can talk about generosity in the form of assistance that people may be giving you, or assistance that you can be giving other people. Just assistance with your time and your energy, not necessarily financial, but because it's Pentacles, it often does relate to financial assistance that people could perhaps be giving you. But it talks about increases in salary and some gifts that could be given to you. I mean, you're really doing some outstanding work, Scorpios, whatever it is that you're working on. So things are really I just see abundance for you around you. And abundance can mean a lot of things. Abundance of love, abundance of friends, of time, of energy. So it's just quite a good energy around you. That energy of charity. So people are helping you, you're helping them. It's great energy. Now you've got the Two of Wands there. I love this card. This is again a card of making a choice, making a decision, and wonderful new opportunities for you again. That, and it's right beneath that Seven of Cups, which says you have these amazing opportunities in front of you, wonderful decisions that you can choose from. And this is kind of what the Two of Wands says too. If you look at the imagery on the card, this person has the world in their hand, the world in their palm. And over to the right, you see the beautiful mountains and the forest. And then over to the left, there is the sea and that beautiful view. And often in tarot cards, you see a pathway and there's two roads that you can choose from. And each of them end in a beautiful, wonderful ending, a beautiful destination. So there's no really wrong choice for you, Scorpios, but it really does talk about having to make a choice. But what the two can also talk about is, taking action on some assistance that's been provided to you. And, it's almost like the ball has begun, the ball's begun to roll here for you. I feel like this is work or study or something that you're quite passionate about. And you're still kind of far from the end, from the finish line. You know, you haven't quite finished your quest, but it's that sort of message to say, okay, now you've achieved a certain way down the track in your goals. Keep the ball rolling, keep moving forward, make that decision, which direction, how are you going to proceed next. Now, the two as well of wands can also talk about new partnership with someone that can help you move along further in your goals to get where it is that you want to go. Now, you know, as I mentioned, new choices, but your potential is unlimited here, and that is the message that is coming through in that Seven of Cups. You've got unlimited potential ahead of you. You are just in such a great place in February. And then that leads to the Lover's card. And the Lover's card, I mean, it is that beautiful, wonderful card that talks about new love and deep love, you know, that love that is actually not fleeting. It's just not going to come in and then go out of your life, but a love that is really enduring. So this could mean that you may be getting engaged or you might be getting married, and it just talks about your soulmate. So this could be someone that, and this could be an air sign. It's right next to that Knight of Swords. Gee, that Knight of Swords been showing up quite a bit for a lot of signs. So air sign is a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarian. But this also talks about this is another card that talks about making a choice. And it's quite significant because it's really an important decision. Now, there's a card there, the Seven of Wands, that says use your head to make any decisions about whether you want to persist in standing your ground and fighting. But in terms of other decisions that you might be needing to make about what direction you want to go in or where your heart is taking you, the Lover's card says you need to listen to your heart. And whereas the Seven of Wands asks you to listen to your intellect. So I think there's definitely a balance there that you might need to be tossing up. If it does have something to do with something that you're really passionate about, perhaps listen to your heart there. But really, I feel that things, you know, don't allow worry, particularly because it's right underneath that worry card, that Nine of Swords. Don't worry about the outcome of any choice that you are needing to make, because you're going to make the right one. Now, also the Lover's card talks about your health. So if you've been unwell, the Lover's card says things are going to be returning to perfect health. You are really going to be back on track and healthy and great in February. Now, that Knight of Swords, this is that fast moving energy of the Knight of Swords. And as I mentioned, so many star signs had the Knight of Swords come out in their reading. But this is probably the fastest moving energy of all the knights. All knights are movement. And so you've got a lot of fast thoughts, a lot of mental energy, a lot of quick kind of things happening in your mind, new ideas coming in. And it's almost like you're stepping into a whirlwind in February about things that you're thinking about and things that you've got to do. A lot of mental activity, a lot of thoughts. Yep. And again, message, make a decision using your intellect in this particular instance. It's kind of like you've got two messages coming through here. I think anything to do with love and emotion, make the decision from your heart. anything to do with, your work, studies, things like that, use your head to make any decisions. This movement is so swift, it actually can be difficult to think through your choices. And because you are having to choose about certain things in February, it might be a bit tricky there, but you really must just stop and consider the outcome of your choices before making them. It is still important, even though you have to make decisions quickly, it is still important to try and take that time to ponder out what alternatives are will come about by your decision. And try and make those choices and decisions before you get too far down the road and you can't turn back, so to speak. Now, I hope that made some sense there, Scorpios. It was very, very contradictory in some of the messages in terms of using your head and your heart to make these choices. But the one message that I can absolutely see is coming through to you is there are some decisions for you to make. Now, your final card there is planting seeds. And this is the Gateway Oracle card. So I'm going to read out of the book here because it's just, I love the messages that come through and also the imagery as well. It's so simple, but if you look at that card and you meditate on it, you can get quite intuitive messages coming through. Now, the affirmation for this particular card is seeds of grace are being planted in the fertile soil of my soul. That is so beautiful. So just repeat that to yourself. If you're ever sitting quietly and meditating, just keep those that affirmation going. But the meaning of this card is the fertile soil of your soul is ready to receive the seeds that will come to harvest in the years ahead. Get clear on what you desire for yourself and your future. Timing is vital, and now is your moment to plant spiritual seeds. The universe wants you to know every realized dream once started is an idea that took root. For your projects, ideas, and dreams to come to fruition, you need to first become clear on what your heart truly desires. Then ask yourself, is this really what I want? Believe that miracles can happen. Use this time to plant seeds for your future. Nurture these precious seeds so that they will grow as strong as the mighty oak. Take action in the desired direction of your dreams, but be willing to pull the seeds along the way. The weeds along the way, sorry. It won't be long before you are reaping the bounty of your labor. So in other words, you've been putting in the hard work already, Scorpios, and just make those choices that you need to make and follow your passion, because everything's going to work out wonderfully for you. And I feel like this is absolutely going to be starting in February for you. So have a wonderful month, Scorpios. I hope that resonated with you and it wasn't too convoluted there. Just click the subscribe button, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you need to ask any more questions about it. And also, if you're into crystal jewelry, check out my website at kazana.com.au. There are some beautiful crystal pieces there. They're all one-off pieces. They are designed and made in Australia by an Australian designer, and the meanings of those crystals are on that website as well. So check those out if you're interested, and I'll see you next month. Bye, Scorpio.